Lucky Land Casino, asking people, what's the weirdest place you've gotten lucky?
Lucky? In line at the deli, I guess?
Aha, in my dentist's office. More than once, actually.
Do I have to say?
Yes, you do.
In the car before my kids' PTA meeting.
Really?
Yes.
Excuse me, what's the weirdest place you've gotten lucky?
I never win and tell.
Well, there you have it. You can get lucky anywhere, playing at LuckyLandSlots.com. Play for free right now. Are you feeling lucky? No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18 plus. Terms and conditions apply. See website for details.
With Lucky Land Slots, you can get lucky just about anywhere.
Dearly beloved, we are gathered here today to... Has anyone seen the bride and groom?
Sorry, we're here. We were getting lucky in the limo and we lost track of time.
No, Lucky Land Casino, with cash prizes that add up quicker than a guest registry.
In that case, I pronounce you lucky.
Play for free at LuckyLandSlots.com. Daily bonuses are waiting. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18 plus. Terms and conditions apply. See website for details. With Lucky Land Slots, you can get lucky just about anywhere.
Dearly beloved, we are gathered here today to... Has anyone seen the bride and groom?
Sorry, we're here. We were getting lucky in the limo and we lost track of time.
No, Lucky Land Casino, with cash prizes that add up quicker than a guest registry.
In that case, I pronounce you lucky.
Play for free at LuckyLandSlots.com. Daily bonuses are waiting. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18 plus. Terms and conditions apply. See website for details.
This is Brum's The Word, a brand new podcast series from Anything But Footy, focusing on the stars competing at this summer's Birmingham 2022 Commonwealth Games. I'm Michael.
And I'm John.
And this is a city that's dear to us both. It was a city I lived in between 1997 and 2000. It was the city, Birmingham, where I first became a sports reporter. Originally, it was just going to be a 2-week job filling in for the usual sports reporter who was on holiday, but has become now a 25-year labour of love.
While I grew up in Birmingham in the mid-80s, at a time when England's second city, don't forget, bid for the Olympics in 1992, beaten in the end by Barcelona.
So we can't wait for the sport to finally come home to Birmingham. The Commonwealth Games, 72 nations, 22 sports, 283 gold medals to be won in what's expected to be the largest number of events for women and para-athletes in the Games' history.
12 days of sport and celebrations coming up then from July 28th. And over the coming weeks and months, Brum's The Word will be focusing on all things Birmingham and the Midlands.
So to kick us off, 3-time Commonwealth and Olympic champion swimmer Adam Peaty, who I caught up with from his training base in Florida. He told me about his plans for the year, including competing in the 200 metres breaststroke in Birmingham and what he's been up to since Strictly Come Dancing.
It's so important just to take that time away, especially if you don't have much time, just to think and just to drink beer and wine and just do whatever. So just be normal. And I'm glad I did it. What I've learned from, especially through that Strictly journey is it doesn't matter what you do Monday to Friday. It matters what you do on a Saturday night. And the Saturday night is the championships. And that is obviously Commonwealth Games, Europeans, Olympics, Worlds. And just have a bit of fun with it, I think everyone's so serious in sport. So I thought January was just going to be a whole messy block of, trying to get my fitness back. But it only took a week to get really good times, really good kind of gym. But I think obviously because I did through December, I did a little bit anyway. But yeah, it hasn't really took too long. And I think what we've learned through COVID as well, and, with Dino, getting COVID twice and he took a bit more rest, is that we can take a little bit more rest periodically and kind of challenge that and go, oh, do we need to be training this long for this hard? Or is it okay to take a kind of step back and give ourselves more recovery so we can adapt and go even harder in 2 months' time? So I think a lot of science is still kind of being drawn up on that and what kind of what works for everyone else. But I'm approaching this season now very, very chilled when I need to be chilled, and then very on when I need to be on. I'm working extremely hard when I need to, but outside of that, I know it's another 2 years till Paris. So probably swim the 200 at trials just to see how it goes. And, that'll just be like a kind of expedition race, I guess. See, literally, I have no idea what time I'll do. I've not done a 200 rested in, I want to say 2016 trials when I went out in a 59 and came back in a coffin. So you've got to keep it fresh. And then what worked for me well in the past is that I always did a 200 meter just to do it for endurance sake. I do my 100 meters, I do my 50 meters for speed. But I need to really challenge my muscular endurance, especially on that breaststroke, on that longer one, and be uncomfortable in a scenario where I'm not winning. And that's something I've kind of learned as well over the last few months off.
You talked a little bit there about obviously the way you feel physically, but you spoke quite a lot last summer about kind of how you feel mentally. And why is it important for you to talk about that mental health agenda and use your platform to say that you guys, because we watch you win medals, break records, we see you as machines, but actually you kind of came out and said, look, we're not machines. We feel just like everybody else. How important is it for you to have got that message across and continuing to do that?
I think it's incredibly important, firstly, for myself to be able to communicate with people what I'm feeling. And secondly, it's very important for, as you said, that people see us as these machines or these athletes who can't be broken. And yes, physically, a lot of the time we can't be broken. It's very rare. But mentally, we're continually tested every single day. Like even this morning, I'm just continually tested. There's never a day off. And so when you're doing that 365 days a year, 24/7, because there's no such thing as a part-time job being an athlete, because you've got to watch what you eat, watch what you sleep, watch what you recover, how many steps you do in a day, etc., etc. So yeah, I mean, it's a very tough job without much rest at all. And I remember when I did it on Twitter and I put it on Twitter at the Olympics, and some people were like, well, it's your athlete, you get paid a lot from sponsors and whatever, and go to Olympics, it's what you should do. But I'm like, no, you have so many weeks off in a year and we don't.
Just if I can, just to follow up on that, I mean, I remember having a quick chat with you and Duncan Scott after the program finished in Tokyo. Was it relief that it was all over? It certainly, when I spoke to you then, felt like you were relieved it was all over and you needed to go and do something else.
Oh, honestly, it wasn't the Olympics really. It was, for me, it was just COVID. And thankfully things are looking up in terms of kind of protocols and travel and competitions now. We didn't travel. We didn't have many competitions abroad. Literally zero training camps, so we're stuck in Loughborough. And normally, it's different stimulus, or at least getting outside the country is very good for an athlete. So you can train with other people, or train in a different pool, for example, because you're following the same black line every single day. So it was just the end of a horrendously kind of tedious year. But I mean, you learn so much through that process, and it probably wasn't a good idea to buy a house, have a kid, and do all these other things at the same time. So if I look back with hindsight, I've learned a lot. But thankfully, it's over now, and I want to see the crowds back, and that's why I'm looking forward to commies. That hopefully we can celebrate this kind of homecoming, because that's what it will be if World Championships don't come. Don't go ahead this before commies. That'll be my first championships from Olympics, and hopefully we can celebrate with a good crowd and raise the Midlands up, I guess.
And will the little one be able to come and watch Dad become a champion?
I hope so, yeah. I've not got any tickets yet, but they always release them last minute, so should be all right.
What would that mean? Obviously, because you didn't have anyone there in Tokyo.
Yeah, and he's never watched me race either. So, yeah, that would mean everything. And I think he would come to Europeans in Rome as well after. I think it's 2 weeks after. So I'd be looking to obviously go to Europeans as well. So I feel like I've got a lot of, mental endurance now in terms of championships. Whereas if you keep going, it gets very just the same kind of thing, really.
Adam Peaty on Brum's The Word.
And don't forget to follow us for all the latest Commonwealth, Olympic and Paralympic sports news, views and interviews. We're available on Apple, Spotify, Amazon and Google. Just search for Anything But Footy.
Sports Social Podcast Network.
With the Lucky Land Slots, you can get lucky just about anywhere.
This is your captain speaking. We've got clear runway and the weather's fine, but we're just going to circle up here a while and get lucky. No, nothing like that. It's just these cash prizes add up quick. So I suggest you sit back, keep your tray table upright, and start getting lucky.
Play for free at LuckyLandSlots.com. Are you feeling lucky? No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18+ terms and conditions apply. See website for details.